So, a sending church is a restoring church. Because that church restored Paul. You know why they are able to do that? Because a sending church does not speak to the performance of a man. The sending church speaks to the potential of a man. I'll wait for you to write that. That's very important. A sending, a multiplying. Okay, did I explain the multiplying side of it? I said to you that a growing church is one that goes numerically. Yes, a multiplying church is like what I said about Francis Chan. The one that it's not about how many disciples can we keep. It's about how many people can we send out. Our pride is not on how big we are. Our pride is on how many people has gone from us. Yeah. When we want to boast, we don't boast of how many we have gathered here. We boast of how many people we have sent out from us. So the one that sends out is a multiplying church. The one that gathers is a growing church. And I've said that growing churches break. They don't resemble Christ. Multiplying churches carry more the DNA of Jesus. Alright? Awesome. So, restoring. Yeah, and then I now said that the reason why they are able to restore is because they don't speak to the performance. Because growing churches want to talk about what are you doing, all right? Okay, we gave you this job to do. Are you doing it well? If you're not doing it well, then we'll put you aside. You understand? They are users. They use people. And if you're not performing immediately, they put you aside. But multiplying churches, sending churches, don't look at that. They look at your potential. Just like what Jesus did to Peter. Okay, how many of you know that Peter made a lot of mistakes? A lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes that if Peter was in any of our churches, our pastors, we would have fired Peter a long time ago. Or would have relegated him to the background. But Jesus never did that. The reason was because he was not dealing with Peter based on his daily performance. He was dealing with Peter based on his potential. Because already, when Peter came, they said his name was Simeon. But Jesus refused to call him that name. Jesus called him another name. Jesus called him Peter. He gave him a name that you are going to be a rock. Because he was relating with his potential, not in his performance. A church that is going to be able to have people to send them out is a church that relates with people's potential. Whatever Paul became later, hear what I'm saying, whatever Paul became later, the first person to see it was Barnabas. The first group to see it was the Antioch Church. Yeah. The reason why they gave him chance was because they didn't see a persecutor. They saw a church planter. So if we are going to be able to send people out effectively, we cannot deal with people the way we see them right now. We must be able to see God in them. And God help our senior pastors here to have the ability to see that. Have you noticed that most of the time God doesn't send you good people? Check the book records. It was hungry people that God sent to David. Discontented. That is what God does. Amen. Amen. Number 3. A multiplying, sending church is a disciple-making church. The same verse 26. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch, and it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people, and the disciples were first called Christians in Antioch. Now I want to explain that. Why was it that the church in Antioch were the first to be called Christians? It was because of discipleship. Discipleship is the act of making followers of Christ. When Jesus Christ said, "Follow me, and I will make you." Follow me. So discipleship is the process of connecting with Jesus in order to be made. The real problem with the Nigerian church, for example, is the fact that we are focused on bringing people to church, but we are not making effort in trying to make them, in trying to develop them to imbibe the attitude and character of Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And true discipleship is not done it's not done from the pulpit. You don't disciple through preaching. You disciple in small groups. The pastor, the senior pastor, or the pastor of a local church is not the discipler. The senior pastor or the pastor of a local church is only able to disciple his own small group of pastors that are working with him. But true discipleship is the place where people in the church form themselves into small groups where they do Bible study, where they do life together. We call it doing life together.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
For example, we've been here since yesterday. Only me have spoken, and Pastor, and Pastor Pastor Abdul that came to pray, and the brother that came to sing. Nobody else has done any other thing. You know why? Because this is not a discipleship platform. But if you were in a small group, somebody is going to pray, another one is going to take offering, another one is going to prophesy, another one. The reason why we don't have prophetic gifts amongst us today is because prophetic gifts are not developed in church. Like on Sunday service, maximum 2 hours, church has closed. We don't have time for somebody to be shaking and say, "Hey, thus hear the Lord, thus hear the Lord." We are taking our time. And in fact, the first time you say, "Thus hear the Lord," you are going to make a lot of mistakes. And the church is going to laugh at you. And that sight alone makes you never to want to try. Do you understand? Have you noticed that when people want to prophesy, they make us feel as if God is always crying? Have you noticed that? Those of you. So what they have asked is God always crying? You know why? Because the person wants us to believe that it's God. So he has to form some spirituality. Do you understand what I'm saying? But thank God that they were allowed, because the groups were small those days. You can't do that in the church of 1,000. So the church in Antioch discipled people. It's only through discipleship you can form people who will have the character of Christ. That is what is lacking in Nigeria. We have strong churches in Nigeria, but there's no sign of Christianity anywhere. Sunday, everybody is a Christian. On Monday, only the cars are born again. In fact, we have even changed the kind of stickers we put in cars. Before, in stickers, in cars, you will see Jesus is Lord. No controversy. You don't see that anymore. What you see now is, I'm a member of what assembly? I want to see that. Before, we want to use even sticker to preach, right? But now, I'm a member of what assembly? Or you say, what assembly? Member.
My year of breakthrough.
But the church name must come there. What assembly? My year of breakthrough. That's what you see now. No more. Before I listen to somebody who wants to die, quickly see on his no controversy, Jesus is Lord. We change his mind. Somebody say, God have mercy. God have mercy. Oh God, I hope you forgive me for saying that. Praise God. Hallelujah. So, discipleship, that's what they're able to do that. So if we are going to be able to drive this vision of church planting, then we must, every local church of Word Assembly must embrace discipleship. If you don't practice through discipleship, you will never be able to produce a people that you can send. You can only produce babies who always want to receive from you. It's through discipleship you produce people who want to give out. That is why, go to almost any church in Nigeria. Just tell them, God is going to use you this coming week. Everybody just keep quiet. People are going to bring blessings to you this week. Because we don't see ourselves as givers. Number 4. This one is, okay. Number 4 is multiplying sending church is charismatic. A multiplying sending church is charismatic. Acts 11:28. And there stood up one of them named Agabus, and signified by the Spirit that there should be great death throughout all the world, which came to pass in the days of Claudius Caesar. Acts 13:1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Mania, which have been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch, and Saul. Now, why did I say a multiplying sending church is charismatic? They allow the functioning of gifts. A sending church recognizes ministry gifts and charismatic gifts. Charismatic gifts are speaking in tongues, prophesying, healing, working of miracles, what's it called? Faith, word of wisdom, word of knowledge. They recognize that. Because they are dependent on the Holy Spirit. And that was why, as big as the church had been, remember that this guy, Agabus, was not a member of that church.